What does one say to an ancient Nephilim ghost?
I suppose you start with...
Go! Get to the chopper!
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we're talking about the best builds in Season 31 Diablo 3. Canai's Cube being open, of course Necromancer is the big winner. Shock, horror, TLDR, the Lord Nova Necro is obscenely powerful. We're going to look through the boards for some of the 150 clears, talk a little bit about where this season is headed in terms of Paragon, in terms of what can be done. If that sounds interesting, guys, do thumbs up because it brightens my day. Stick around and we're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff. I'm up to tier 139. I've got a couple of gear pieces still to clear up. This Legacy Dreams Nova Necro, of course, it involves a lot of RNG trying to push this up, getting a good map, good pylons, good Rift Guardian. But yeah, I'm hopeful I'll get 150 done this season. If we have a little look-see at the lowest 150 clear, which is kind of always a little bit interesting to have a look-see. More Paragon than I have. They've gone for the Leorics to try and make themselves a bit tankier, I think. But yeah, that's my ultimate goal. But we do have somebody who has crushed it in under 4 minutes with 3,000 Paragon points, which is pretty nutty. So if you get the Paragon, if you get the gear, if you get the augments, there is a moderate chance that you would be solo speed farming 150 by the end of the season, which is pretty ridiculous. If we look at hardcore, it's 150, of course, is also done there, no problemo. If we look at SSF, 150, again, Legacy Dreams, Nova Necro. If we look at SSF hardcore, Legacy Dreams, Nova Necro, 150. So it's kind of like a clean sweep across the board. Also, interestingly, on the Necromancer, we have got the fact that the Rathma has also cleared 150. 3.5k Paragon. Obviously, most players won't get anywhere near this, but I mean, considering this is essentially the second weekend of the season, we can see there will be some obscene Paragon numbers later on in the season, because these 150s with the Lord Necro in grouping will just completely crush, and people will sit here and do it all day, every day. Tragul's Nova, again, also 150, no problemo, 2,000 Paragon. You know, this could be achievable for a good player with some nice gear and augments, so that's obviously doable. Inarius, somebody again has also cleared 150. It is squishier, I think, and a bit harder to play, but again, 2,000 Paragon points nets you a 150 clear with really good play and good skills. Bone Spear, of course, also has done 150. 2.5k for a 7.5 minutes. Again, this time is just going to crash down, guys. Towards the end of the season, this will be in the obscene 3-minute range as well. And then, of course, Legacy of Dreams we have done. So, Necro is extremely powerful, makes a lot of use of the season theme, except for the Pestilence set, where at the moment it doesn't really look like it's making the kind of impact like with everything else. Because basically Rathman's a really strong builder anyway, and then the other three are Nova, and we've got Bone Spear, which also is very, very strong. Now, the second best class, I think, to do a 150 is actually the Wizard. So we've got a Legacy of Dreams Wizard here on the main board with 2.4k Paragon-ish. So this is the reverse Archon Meteor. I think probably difficult to play, difficult to gear, but we've also got this done on hardcore with Tal Rasha, so that's interesting that we can get the Tal Rasha done with that, with the Gesture of Orpheus as the wand weapon, using both of the Tal Rasha, the Meteor weapons in the cube, which is interesting. So that is pretty cool that that's done. It's also been cleared on the solo for the season. Again, Tal Rasha here with a whopping 3k Paragon on solo season, which is pretty nuts. And someone's also cleared it on hardcore SSF with 1.8k, 1.9k Paragon. So Wizard looks pretty strong for Meteor, whether that's on the Legacy Dreams or the Tal Rashas. Other potential 150 builds possibly could be the Hydra. We're at 140 at the moment. 2k Paragon. So again, look, I'm not going to go through all of these builds and say, because the point's going to be the same. If you get obscene Paragon, special things are possible in this game, but at the moment we've got the Typhon's Veil being pretty close. Firebirds lagging behind, 136. This is with 2k paragon, and then we've got the DMO at 133 with only 1000 paragon, so nobody's really properly tested that one. So again, we'll kind of have to see. Veers is pretty weak, one of the worst sets in the game, unfortunately. Again, nobody's bothered. 872 paragon, so obviously not really a proper clear. Nobody on season hardcore. Veer's not getting much love there, which is quite funny. Yeah, I mean, again, it's early. People don't have the augment gems to whiz about, and everybody who is doing, of course, the Omega blasting is pretty much on wizard. Now, another class that is definitely 150 capable this season is the Demon Hunter. A rather high price of 3.5k paragon and completely perfect gear with fully all juiced out augments, and of course fantastic playing ability to get a 150 done just in the nick of time. Of course, hardcore nowhere near it. SSF has been done, 2.2k, so obviously this player has played probably better or got a better map because they've managed to clear it with about half the paragon. So again, still kind of possible. Hardcore isn't really there yet, but Demon Hunter, you can get a 150 done. It's just not going to be as easy, I don't think, as Necromancer, because that's going to be your easiest way into 150, then Wizard, and then probably Demon Hunter after that. Now, interestingly, I think looking at the rest of this stuff, the UE is at 140, so we're not a million miles away. 2k paragon on that. It is not doing much in any of the other game modes though. But again, with the paragon, with the weeks and weeks of the season, I do expect that to be cleared. But again, it's going to be a bit of an uphill struggle. Next, I think we've got Crusader. He was at 148 on the regular season. Again, 3k paragon, which is fairly expensive. 135 on the season hardcore, 150 in SSF, so that's pretty good. 2.4k. Again, this is a difficult build to play in my opinion, the Phalanx Condemned Crusader. But again, look, it's possible to get the 3000 paragon this season. It will be possible if you wanted to chuck all of your 150 augments at this, that you would have a chance of getting it done on a 134 in hardcore with only 1500 paragon points. So Crusader looking decent for the 150, maybe even stronger than Demon Hunter, probably about similar. None of these other sets really are doing much. Aegis of Valor I thought would be a little stronger than this. It doesn't look like it's terribly strong at the moment. Again, perhaps towards the end of the season. Legacy of Dreams is always a bit of an interesting one with the Captain America Blessed Shield build, but looks a little underpowered at the moment. Nothing really particularly close to the 150. And then Roland's Invoker, Seeker of the Light, they're not particularly great sets for pushing, so again, none of them are particularly close. Let's have a look at Barbarian. 140 done on the Wrath of the Waste with only 1300 paragon, so I do expect 150 on Barb at some point. When that some point will be, I'm not sure. 141 with 3k paragon. Shout out to Melvinius, clan member, in 4th with 136. Good on you, buddy. Only 1200 paragon as well, so be interesting to see what happens. And then we've got the Legacy of Dreams is at 140. So again, oh no, that was the overall. Legacy of Dreams is at 134. So again, potential for it to climb up, but not looking amazingly strong out of the gate. Somebody has done a solo 138, which is nice. Monk, I think I had high hopes for this with the Patterns of Justice, with the Shenlongs. Doesn't look like it's amazingly powerful. Again, we probably get there by the end of the season at some point. 140 with 1.3k, so you dump that paragon on there, it probably does get done. Wadija with a 145 with 1600. So hey guys, if you're as good as Wadija is at this game and you get maybe 3 or 4,000 paragon points, yeah, you can do your 150 on the Patterns of Justice. But for us mere mortals, it looks like a little bit of a struggle, and that I think just leaves us with the Witch Doctor. And not many people playing Witch Doctor, so we've got 1.4k paragon with a 9-minute 130. 135 is cleared on hardcore, which is interesting, on Mundanugu, which is higher, and then 145 on the solo leaderboard. 3k paragon for the Helltooth, so again this kind of suggests it will get done eventually once you get obscene paragon levels, but again, not really looking like something that regular players will have much of a hope for, but it is interesting. Now, of course, we're going to see stupid paragon levels by the end of the season for anybody who sticks around for the season, because of course we do have 150 done in 1.5 minutes already, which is obviously pretty nuts. So, you know, if you're speed farming 150s in, you know, in a group in like 5 minutes, the paragon will be ridiculous by the end of the season. So of course that does, as I say, make anything possible. I think for an average casual player, of course, it goes without saying, the obvious points is Necromancer is going to be your best way into this. It is squishy. I'm going to try and clear it. I'll try and make a video on the build that I do it with, try and talk about some of the pushing mechanics and points. I'm not the world's best pusher, so I've got a lot to learn, but I'm hoping to get 150. I'm going to be disappointed with myself, I think, if I don't get a 150 done before I move over to Diablo 4 this season. But there we are, guys, a really strong season theme for the Necromancer, some utility from some of the other classes, and I think ultimately this is probably going to be a slightly better season, I think, than most have given credit. I think there's not much hype for this season. I think it's fun, the cubing open. I think it's kind of cool for some of these speed builds, some of these push builds. It lifts a lot of restrictions. I'm personally really enjoying it. I've been Filthy Casual, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy. Peace.